It's time for this week's View from the Sideline. Here's Bryan Burchfield.
It's time for this week's View from the Sideline, my weekly interview segment with players and coaches for the Sequoyah Wildcats. Joining me this week, the two quarterbacks for the Wildcats, sophomore quarterback Hunter Jenkins and junior quarterback Riley Turpeinen. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing pretty good.
Hunter, we'll start with you. Big-time game last week at Oliver Springs. 5 rushing touchdowns. You also threw a touchdown. How'd you feel in that game? Had to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, the flow of the game was going real well. The line was blocking at the line, and passing-wise, the corners just weren't as good as our wide receivers.
5 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot, any level of football. Just talk about how the line, you mentioned the line was blocking well. You seemed to be running well. Could you believe at the end of the night you had accounted for 6 touchdowns?
Honestly, I didn't know that I scored 5 touchdowns until Brett Spurgeon walked up to me at the end of the game and said, "You need to share the touchdowns," because I'd scored 5. And I really didn't believe it, that I scored 5 touchdowns. But the line was doing their job. There's plenty of holes I could pick and choose on any play.
Riley, talk about the flow of that game. You guys got down 12-0, and they were whipping up on you guys a little bit there early, but you guys surged back and went on to the big win. What changed and got you guys back into the game?
Our tempo changed a lot. At practice, we work on not getting down. Whenever someone gets down, we pick them up, and that's what we did. And after we got down 12-0, we got in the huddle, and we said, "Here's what we're going to do," and we did it, and we scored.
Now, Riley, you two guys, you and Hunter, you rotate series at quarterback. A lot of situations in football, you see that, and it doesn't really work. But for you guys, it seems to work. Tell us why that is.
Because me and Hunter aren't selfish. Yeah. We know that what we have to do, and we just compliment each other. We both want to see each other do good, and we like sharing our playing time. If he wants to run, then he runs. Whenever I go in the game, majority of the time I pass.
Well, Hunter, to talk about the way you guys complement each other, Riley mentioned it there. You're more, and we say on the radio broadcast, you're more of the running quarterback. Riley's got a little bit of the bigger arm, so he's in there more in the passing situation. Just talk about that.
Yeah, well, any time that I come off the field after scoring touchdowns or anything, Riley's always usually the first one to say, "That's a good run," and when he comes off the field, I do the same. And anytime we're out there, like if he completes a pass or anything, I'm yelling from the sideline. If I get a good run, I can hear him. You know, we're just so team-first attitude. That's what we have.
Hunter Jenkins and Riley Turpeinen, both quarterbacks for the Sequoyah Wildcats, our guest this week on A View from the Sideline. Now, I mentioned quarterbacks. You guys also play on the defensive side. Both of you playing safety. Talk about your role in that Wildcat defense as well. Hunter, we'll start with you.
Well, I have to contain the outside. Usually sometimes I have to also go outside and guard the receivers. I'm more of the hit. I come up and hit first. Riley's more, he stays back, but really I've tried to work on getting in the weight room, getting bigger, and being able to tackle better.
Hunter, more of a strong safety position. Now, Riley, you're more of free safety, and we saw that last week as you got a big interception playing back against Oliver Springs. Talk about that.
Practice, we work on safeties. Depends on what coverage it is. We just don't let anything behind us right there. If something happens up front, we're the first ones that should be up there with the ball. We don't let anything behind us. And I just backpedaled, watched quarterback's eyes, and I just came up and made the play.
It was a big play in that game, big turnover. Now, Riley, I'll ask you, since you're playing both sides, what's your favorite side of the football, offense or defense, and why?
I like playing quarterback better because I just like scoring. I like throwing touchdown passes. I like handing off the ball. I like picking up my linemen whenever they miss a block. I feel like me and Hunter do a good job of that whenever they miss a block or something. And I like complimenting them whenever they do good because they play a big role. We do a lot on offense.
Hunter, same question to you. Offense, defense, why?
Well, I like them both, but I'd say I'd like defense more due to the fact that I can be more physical on the defensive side. Because offense at quarterback, unless I do run the ball, I'm not really hitting anybody, and I don't like to get hit.
Interesting answer for a man just come off a big touchdown week like you did on offense to say you like defense better.
Yeah, I know.
Like hitting people. Hunter, the split gun offense of Coach E, you guys obviously out of shotgun, do a lot of draw plays, a lot of read plays. How much decision power does he give you on the field at quarterback to pull it, to give? Tell us about that.
Well, it's all in what the defense is doing. If it's a certain run play, I have a certain read man, and it depends on what the read man does. If the read man shoots down on certain plays, I pull it. If he stays out on certain plays, I pull it. It all depends on what the defense is doing.
Riley, same question to you. What's some things you're looking for out there when you've got a decision to make? If a guy's doing this, then I need to do this. Tell us some of those scenarios.
On pass plays, sometimes we got to read the safeties and we got to read the corners. We try to move the safety over, and then we hit the guy that was supposed to hit. If he doesn't move over, then we hit the other guy. But like Hunter said, we have read man, and depending on what he does, if he crashes down, we pull it. If he stays contained, then we hand off the ball.
Is there a play here recently this season that you can remember where you made the wrong read?
Yes, I made a wrong read versus Oliver Springs last game. I pulled the ball, and needless to say, I got hit pretty hard.
Hunter, same to you. Walk us through a play where you made the wrong read and it didn't work out very well.
Yeah, it was the same thing against Oliver Springs. It was a run play, and the D end stayed still, and when he stayed still, I should have gave it. Instead, I pulled it, and when I pulled it, he tackled me in the backfield for probably a loss of 3.
Hunter Jenkins, Riley Turpeinen, our guest on this week's View from the Sideline. Both these guys play quarterback as well as safety for the Sequoyah Wildcats. Hunter, Coach E calls in a play. What's that play that when you hear it, you're very excited? It's your favorite play to run?
Well, it's probably the play that I scored 4 times out of the 5 times I scored in rushing the ball. It's quarterback power. It's basically snap the ball to me. I follow the running back, see a hole, hit it, and get as far as I can.
It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of thinking involved in that play. Is that why you like it?
Yeah.
Riley, same question to you. What's the one play that you love hearing coming from Coach E?
Well, I love hearing X fade to Brett and Meetsy, my big guys. My big receivers, they catch the ball really well. I just like taking that 3-step drop and throwing it deep.
All right, guys, it's Sequoyah week. You guys are going to this game 4-1, but records don't matter. This is a big rivalry game. Tell us how bad you want to beat Sequoyah, Hunter.
Well, they beat us last year, and we obviously lost the County Cup. We won it back, and we've had a decent practice this week. We've been practicing hard, and we know how much this game means. Like you said, records don't matter. A rivalry game is a rivalry game, and we know that both teams are going to come to play.
Riley, what's this Sequoyah game mean to you?
It means a lot to all of us, really. We came, like he said, we came out to practice. We worked pretty hard this week. We just want that County Cup back, really. We know both teams are going to be ready. It should be a really good ball game.
Guys, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's sophomore quarterback Hunter Jenkins and junior quarterback Riley Turpeinen for the Sequoyah Wildcats, our guest on this week's View from the Sideline. They'll lead their team into action tonight against Sequoyah. Kickoff coming your way at 7:30.
You've been listening to View from the Sideline. The Fairweather Financial pregame show is coming up next.